Welcome back. It's a few days past after the big rain event and hail. I'm here at the barn. I'm going to get some stuff going, work on the planter. First, I'm going to check over to see hail damage. It's been really wet. I haven't been able to get out to the field, or get out to the barn yet. Today, it's dry enough, but I come in and my driveway, my entrance, because all the water off the road is now where I'm standing. You can see all the rock and stuff. So it's a problem. That road just fills up and breaks over this berm, which is lower than it needs to be. So I need to get something there, some kind of material, try to push this stuff back up. There'd been a low spot here. Now it's extra low. So man, 5 inches of water in that fast amount of time, it's not great for anything. So, and I'm surprised how firm it is, but that shows you how hard it came, because it packed it down. So this is my berm, my driveway. It's everywhere I don't want it. So anyways, the wheat. Okay, this wheat wasn't good anyways necessarily, but it's right here, convenient to get to. And so it's just, there's still some standing, but there's a lot like this that's broken over, laid on the ground, and some is standing. And what's standing, is it damaged as well? Probably. So that's sad to see. And this right here is about similar. The next patch over is better, but I got one back there, and then one, there's a barn. It's an old gin. It's, I think, a complete loss. So I'm thinking the one in between us is as well. So what can you do? Well, I thought I could show you some more wheat, but this is all pretty silty and soft and wet, and so I'm not going to walk out there any further. But just thin. Already was thin, now thinner. So once it dries some more, I'll get out there a little bit closer and show you what I find. The other thing I want to look over is the two tractors I had here, just to see if there's any noticeable damage. I took the globes off, so those are protected. There was already some dents there from a previous hailstorm, so I'm just looking for some new damage. Nozzle tips would be a concern up there, so I may try to unfold the sprayer and see if everything works. Electrical and things back here would all be possible concerns for damage. So I don't see anything obvious just yet, but I'll keep looking and let you know if I find something. But that's the kind of things I'm looking for. This one of these nozzle bodies or something to get busted. Well, I decided I want to go ahead and check this out and see if anything was going to be an issue here. So I'm going to turn the pump on first. That works as it should. Now I'll turn the hydraulics to the boom on. Everything seems so far is working. I'm going to drive back here and unfold and run some product through the boom and see make sure all my nozzle bodies work, and that way I can get some parts ordered if something does not work. Put this on manual. Turn that on, make sure I got good pressure. I wish I could see this better from the cab. Maybe I can. So first culprit here, I've lost a spray tip. I got another one in the tractor, so I will get that. But the rest of them looked okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the next sections I can see, and then I'll replace that. All right, section 2. Seems to be spraying appropriately. 3 I'll check in a minute because I can't see it behind me. Here's 4. Don't see any water gushing out. And here's 5. Okay. Looks like it's just that one for now, so that's a blessing. Can't control much. For sure can't control the weather. So I'm thankful that it was not worse than it could have been. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn 3 on and run out there and check on it real fast. 3. Three is good. I'll need to clean all these tips out before I spray next anyways. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything big going on, like something electrical broke that I wouldn't be aware of until all of a sudden I'm needing to spray and I can't. That cap could be broken. Yeah, it looks like my cap is busted as well. Right there should be a little piece right on the end, so need to get a new cap. All right, there, you see the difference now? This little piece was broken off on that one, so that's pretty simple. I say that, it is simple, just gotta get it. There we go. So now I'm back in business. Did not lose my strainer. Slot goes to the back. We'll test that again and should be good. All right, number 1 again. All right, good to go. All right, first looks at 8260. Just looking for anything unusual, including possibly a raccoon. My dad was telling me a local farmer starting up his combine and heard a big thumping noise spinning around. Had a raccoon between his fan and the radiator of his combine, and $8,000 worth of damage later. So at least mine just scared the crap out of me. I guess if that's a consolation prize. Okay, I don't readily see any damage. We'll start it up, raise lower, 3-point, things like that. See if there's anything that sticks out, because I'm going to be needing this tractor for planting, which is kind of important considering that's how I make money. Now, so far so good. Let's go 3-point. I'm not expecting the hail to have messed up anything that's moving right now, but there are electrical things that tell those things to do those things. So, in case you're wondering. So far so good. I'm going to drive a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and empty out the diesel so that I can take that with me maybe today and get more diesel so I have it ready for when I need it. So that's what I'm doing. Thankful the tractor's checked out good. Get this emptied, and then I'm going to turn my attention to the planter, which is of most importance. Well, it turns out that tank's already empty. I did that sometime. I don't remember when. So I just got to practice unhooking, getting the diesel. I got to practice putting diesel in, no need. So that's fun. All right. I'm gonna put some fuel conditioner in there before I forget. And then something else. Well, these were sitting on top. So it rained over 1/3 of a cup. Somehow inside. From the top, from the sides. So that's interesting. Yeah. About 1/3 of a cup of rain. If you ever measure, I've never measured anything like that, but you know, new measurements. Innovative farming. Let me show you something else. Lots of water. I'm not sure exactly where this came in at. I'm guessing along the side door. So that's fun. The other thing that happened, and maybe this is where it came in. See that? That piece is supposed to go inside of that channel all along. So good thing I had these chained, because that was some terrific wind. Sometimes when these doors are open, if you're just in here, a wind will come through and blow those open. Well, all the doors were shut and that still happens. So I'm going to try to fix this. I got it put back on. I don't think I sprung the track up there. It's happened before. So luckily those doors aren't very heavy. Maybe also that's why those things happen to those doors. So, all right. I am going to have to get these carts ready at some point. I'm going to have to figure out how to best move things around, because I can't get the planter out with for sure the carts have to go. And the grain drill has to go. The truck maybe could stay, but I got to figure out where to put everything else to keep it out of weather. I have grain still left in the truck, because I'm nervous about how much seed I'm going to have to catch. I may not. Normally I would sell that off and then get all new each year, but I might not have the luxury of that, so I'm going to have to keep that and top it off. I've got a little bit left in this one, and just like probably trash left in here. I don't think I ever cleaned out. So I got to get them greased and tires aired up and sprayed down with Tempo to keep weevils. That may not be today's problem. But getting the planter put back together is a priority. I got my meters back, the seed meters, those things right there. Got to put them back on the boxes. Had them tested with our local precision planting guy, and they're running decent. You know what? 100% is perfect singulation, meaning I'm just putting down a single seed everywhere I expect to put a seed. The negatives would be that if you skipped, like on a seed plate, there's a bunch of holes. I'll just go over there and show you. Okay, seed goes in the box, comes down into this meter. This spins on the chain. On mine, seed comes in right there. And then inside here, this is a vacuum tube. So the vacuum connects to that, and that vacuum pulls suction on the seed. And as the seed's rotating around, so yeah, as this pulls the vacuum, it sucks seeds to this plate, and it drops the seeds, and it goes down the tube and gets planted. And so this seed plate, you hope to have one seed in every hole. That would be perfect. If you have misses, that would be an error. If you have doubles in a hole, that would be an error. Causes your singulation percentage to change from 100 to whatever. I was running like 95 to 96%, which sounds pretty good if you're like in an English class, but that is, and most of them were duplicates. Gosh, the flies are terrible. Most of those are duplicates, which means I'm putting out a little more seed than I want to. Maybe that's a good thing, because in a dry year, or if the emergence isn't great, could help me a little bit. Also could be wasting money. So I think I may upgrade to the next. They have a metering system called the E-Set, which is a steel chain driven, but it showed 100% singulation. You can go real expensive and get into the V-Set, where it's all not mechanically driven anymore. You can spend a lot of money on your planter, but for me, simple chain drive works. I may just upgrade the meters next year is what I'm thinking, because I still have life on these seed plates and stuff, and that's an expense that might as well use them up if it's not killing me. And so I'll probably upgrade meters next year, was the long answer to tell you that I had them run. So I got to put those back on, go over some things, grease chains, check my disc opener spacing. I'll show you all that in a second. Try to do as much as I can before I get the planter hooked up to the tractor, because that involves moving stuff. All right, we'll put these meters back on and check over some other stuff. I really didn't know what to expect when taking these off, but real simple. Just 2 bolts, 2 nuts with studs in the bottom of this hopper. Real simple. Definitely don't want to strip those out. It'll be no bueno. Okay. Now, I know the guys that I sent these into already tested some of this stuff, but I'm also going to go over just to make sure, check to make sure that this little, it's not a brush, but it's this little thing that makes sure that it wipes this seed plate clean is good. They went ahead and replaced this seal for me. That helped with some of the singulation. And then the other thing I want to check is the seed plate, looking for grooves, excessive wear, and there seems to be not any of that. And then this brush is a wear spot. It's in good shape. Make sure all these things are seated right. Spins free. And then this one's from Dad. There's a little bit of slop in there, and so if I push it all the way up, it's all the way against there. There's a gap there. Either way. So try to split that difference as best we can. Hopefully that held like that, and then check for spin. So you want a little bit of resistance, but not too much. That sounds about right to me. If you get too much, then it's too much. If you get not enough, it's not enough. But not enough, it would spin, and it would just spin forever, and you wouldn't hit hear any of that brush. So that's pretty good. So that's what I'm looking for on all these. All right, so another thing I'm going to check, these idlers right here, there's a bushing right there and right there, and they get grooves in them from the chain. So here's one I just took off on this side over here, and you can rotate them and get different because they wear in different spots. And so this one looks like it has one more location to that can wear before I need to replace those. I thought I was going to need to replace them this year. Problem is I just have to you got to get them in the right spot so that the chain rides in the right spot. I think you move them 2 hex. Maybe I gotta go forward. 1, 2. Maybe that's it. Chain goes over and under like that. So I'm pretty sure like that on this one. Yeah, that's a good spot. So I think that is going to be where I want these. So pretty simple deal. Get you a little bit more life out of some wear parts. I'm thinking and hoping those are going to be it's going to be the same on all the other ones, but we'll find out. There you go. So that is what I'll do. That's a tensioner. What I was saying, idler. It's a tensioner. All right, do that on 9 more. You may be wondering, like, why does that matter? It's not that big a deal. Well, the chain, it wears into that bushing there and it changes the length of the chain because it can seat further into those spots. This chain can change lengths, which affects my planting population. And so everything is driven off of this hex bar and these sprockets, so they run each individual unit, and those are all tied to this main transmission. So everything's run off of that, which run by the wheels run the hex shaft, and the transmission determines how fast it spins, which determines my population. So if that chain link is off, well, across each one's going to plant different, or I may be planting less or more than I think because of the wear of the chain, the wear of those bushings. So trying to keep stuff like that from happening. Last thing, I was going to do this at the end, but I guess while I've got it all apart, I'm going to go ahead and lube up this chain. It's nice keeping this thing in the barn. Just don't get the rust on stuff like if I didn't keep it in the barn. All right. Now you just hook up your air. Make sure this is seated right. She goes. All right, that one's good. Just need to, only thing left would be simple stuff, but I got seat firmers. They're in the box. I'll put them on when I raise it up. I'll check the gap on all my openers and obviously grease my row cleaners. Grease these arms. Check my depth, and pretty simple. Shouldn't be a ton to mess with. The biggest things are like the wear parts, checking for chains, the discs wearing out. That's a big one. Loose bearings, but pretty straightforward. ended up replacing all of these thingamajigs. So here's a good example. See how much that one's worn? Can you tell? I mean, there's a significant groove in that. There's a brand new one. So a brand new one's smooth all the way around. This one maybe has a wear spot left right there. I'm gonna go ahead and replace. So I'm hoping the outside ones are off because they were put on later to this planter, and the rest of these others are all going to be on the same schedule. At least that's what I'm thinking is the case. If that's not the case, then I'm going to be too short of these things to finish the planter. I've just got one more row unit left. So I can't remember if I bought these or these are left over from Dad's. If they're Dad's, thanks, Dad. If they're mine, good job, Emery, for having parts. I'm not sure. Nope, wrong way. Make sure it works. All good. Grease the chain, oil the chain, whatever. Connect the air line. Make sure this rubber seals in the spot where it needs to be. That's it. One more to go. I've been doing things, just nothing worth showing. After I got the planter put back together, I aired up all the tires on all the carts, the grain truck, and the planter. I greased the tractor. I'm gonna hold off on greasing the planter so that I remember to do all the things. I don't forget something. So what's left on the planter is to grease all the row cleaners, the arms, the miscellaneous hinges and things like that, and then check the disc openers, and then the tractor should be good to go, except for basically it's good to go. The carts are, I just got to grease the carts, which I may go do that real quick. It's getting a little more bluer in the west, so I don't know if we're gonna get rain or not, but it's looking more like it. There's stuff it's near Lubbock, but could be coming this way. I took this tire off one of the carts. This was kind of bulging with weight on it, and I'm afraid I'm asking for a blowout, especially if I get into some get it full with grain this year. Trying to see, there's a date code. I don't know if that is or not, but these are made in USA, so they're probably older because not much is made in the USA anymore. But I'm gonna take that to the tire shop. It's holding pressure, but I just don't really like that. So I'm gonna ask them what they say, and they'll probably say, yeah, here's a new tire. A couple $100. Well, I don't really know what I'm gonna do next, but I'm gonna do a few more things and then go home. I just wanted to get back to the barn. There's some thunder. So who knows what's going to happen. But I just wanted to get back to the barn and get started on the planter, kind of get my mind wrapped around what needs to happen, because it'll be go time. If we get some more rain, it'll push start time a little bit, a little bit further. But if we don't, we get some sun, this stuff will dry out pretty quick, and then we'll be looking to plant, especially my farm over in Old Glory, because it needs to be worked in pretty wet. So I'm in a pretty good spot. Obviously, there's always stuff to do. My barn's messy. I got to get that clean. Moving has kind of taken precedence over some other stuff, but we're in a pretty good spot over there. So I'm hoping to get this cleaned up, get this reorganized. I got my camper out of here and into a spot at my barn that I spent all day yesterday working on, and so feel good about that. So I got some better ideas on how to get the barn more organized with all my grain carts and stuff without the camper being in here. So that's something else I could do. But man, thanks for watching. It's been a long spring. I haven't showed you much because there hasn't been much to show, but hopefully there's not any more excitement of lots of water, hail, things like that. It's just smooth, catching wheat seed, getting the grain in the ground, or getting the cotton in the ground, and hopefully we have a really good start to the cotton growing season. It's looking good right now. Our moisture's great. We can get it up. We just need a couple small showers through the summer and we could be sitting pretty. So we're hoping and praying for that, but stay tuned and I'll show you along the way. And thanks for watching. If you're gonna farm it.